Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Rob McCarty, and this is the first demo day for the illustrious group of AR creators that we'll be bringing onto the stage here in just a second. I'm really excited about today. This is actually our first cohort for what was an 8-week program with using Illis AR Creator Studio and really kind of working with these creators to hone in on different collections, different projects, different ways of extending their artistic practice through the medium of augmented reality. And so, yeah, we're really excited about what we have in store today. We have a wide cast of different types of experiences and different types of stories to be told. But yeah, while we're everyone's kind of getting prepped in the green room right now, I'm going to go through and just quickly go through a little bit about who we are, why we're doing this, and then we'll be jumping into some of these presentations. So let me go ahead and present my screen here. And let's see. And here we go. Cool. You should be able to see my screen now. There we go. Cool. So demo day number one. Again, I'm this co-founder and CEO of Illist. My business partner Tim and I started this about, 6 years ago. But this is our first actual demo day, exemplifying different creators from the ecosystem. And so, really excited to share what folks have been working on. Again, we're an augmented reality creator studio. We have a software to be able to build and deploy browser-based AR experiences and deploy them to any location in the world. We've had the opportunity to work with many different brands and agencies and events and festivals and influencers of all kind of shapes and sizes. And we've been doing this for 6 years. But before that, Tim and I came together. I was consulting with Meta to help them launch Spark AR, and Tim was over at Snap as one of their creative partners. And we kind of saw the writing on the wall of creating a toolbox that really enforced creator IP, because at the time, with like Meta Spark, you were assigning away all of your creator rights in a galaxy-wide exclusive perpetuity license by uploading your AR content to their studio. But we also want to, really see the world as a canvas that you can publish to. And so, yeah, that's where kind of the idea for Illis was born. And since then, we've been working across really all different types of partners. And one of the thing that really is the lifeblood of all that we do, it really comes down to the creators and folks who are really imagining how the world can interact using these new technologies. And so before we go into the actual the demo day, I just want to take a moment to thank some really amazing partners along the way. Hug.art for helping us broadcast different open calls for art and different types of exhibitions that we put on, from ETH Denver to South by Southwest and across the gamut. One Love Art DAO, shout out to Jen. She's been just a real one that's been fostering the creator ecosystem. She's been really supportive of what we've been up to, and yeah, it's been great to work with her. Balance Forces, which is a collective of a variety of different groups, and they've been working to put together exhibitions. It's kind of been like once a quarter, but really revolves around like a contemporary theme, something about the human condition, something that kind of brings us together, from like oceanic conservation to one was Peace Day in New York City. But they were hosting, again, the quarterly exhibitions and broadcasting different art and different artists from around the world. AI Film 3 for them pushing the limits of what's been going on in kind of the creative services industry. They've also been gracious hosts for us and broadcasting a lot of the projects that we've been working on, as well as on-chain creators. Humpty and the team over there have just been really great in bringing this ecosystem to life. And again, the kind of intersection between blockchain, AR, and AI, all of the tech buzzwords in the world kind of just in one pot. But it really takes education and sharing these different things to bring it to a broader audience and for us to understand what this means for our digital futures as they kind of get overlaid on the physical world. So, and lastly but not least, all the creators who are using our tools and using it to tell their stories. It really means the world to us, and we wouldn't be here without you all. So yeah, let's get into some of the fun stuff for today. So just a quick overview about the bootcamp. So we want to create like an accelerator style environment for AR creators to bring their ideas and their talents to market. So some of these were just kernels of concepts, and those kernels blossomed into something much larger. And then some of these were active projects that we were kind of honing in on to really bring in the right people, the right advocates to bring it to the next level. And it's something that we did over the last 8 weeks. These creators gave their Saturdays to really hone in on their practice, and so yeah, that's basically just been something that we're really proud of to see this kind of come into light. And so, with that being said, I want to introduce the first cohort for the demo day. And so we're going to be getting things kicked off with Drake Arnold. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on the stage here. So as we kind of get into as we kind of go through demo day here, you're going to see a lot of QR codes. I will be sharing out links to where these QR codes. So if you're on your mobile device, you can't scan a QR code. There will be a follow-up if you've RSVP'd for the event. I'll also try and be in the socials to throw some of the URLs onto the feed. So with that being said, right now it's broadcasting on LinkedIn and X. So if you have the opportunity to share out the link, that would really give us as much exposure and visibility for the creators who are involved here. I'll be sharing it from the Illust Telegram or X account here in just a second once I hand over the mic to Drake. But yeah, if we could all just share this out, that would be really helpful for giving these creators as much visibility for their projects as possible. So with that being said, I want to hand the mic over to Drake Arnold to begin his presentation. So Drake, it's all you, my guy.
Hello, friends. I'm going to go ahead and jump on here and share my screen real quick. All right. All right. Are you guys able to see this? Are you guys able to see my screen share?
Yes. You're good to go.
All right. Well, I'm going to launch into it then. My name is Drake Arnold. I am a muralist and I do a lot of digital art projects. I have a focus on doing public art projects. I typically work with cities, companies, nonprofits, and individuals to produce murals and interactive, immersive works of artwork. I'm going to kind of be running over my portfolio today, starting with a lot of my mural work. My mural work has, an intimate connection in with my augmented reality work and the digital artwork that I do. I've been painting for ages. I got into public art projects a little over a decade ago. And around that same time, I started noticing AR, and pretty quickly I saw the connection between what I was doing and what I could do with augmented reality. I was already into creating digital artwork at the time and doing 3D modeling and animation. And I noticed that a lot of augmented reality used image recognition software in order to recognize an image and then play back the AR content correspondingly. And as a painter, somebody who makes images, I thought to myself, wow, this looks like a perfect opportunity to integrate my 3D animation work with my paintings and kind of explore this whole brand new immersive media that was emerging. A lot of these projects I started, this one here we're watching is from 2019. I developed my first augmented reality mobile app back in 2018, and I used it at the time to augment a lot of my paintings. And Then I kind of moved from my paintings into merchandise and apparel that was based on my AR paintings. And then I started moving into public art installations shortly after that. And it's been it's been a wild ride, to be honest with you. It's been fascinating. It feels like uncharted territory, exploring the Wild West, to be honest with you. It's yeah, it's been fun. This project we're looking at here was from Art Basel, Miami, from a couple years ago. I did a large mural project with the Wynwood Mural Festival and did an AR activation for that. Here we're looking at some of my t-shirts from my merchandise and apparel company, Fractal Spirit. These are some of my early works from 2018 that worked with my mobile app. And yeah, once I realized I could do this, I started pushing into it. I started doing a lot of event activations for music festivals and AR art galleries using all my artwork that was reactive through my app. But, you know, over the years, I realized there's a lot of friction getting people to download a dedicated app just for your AR experience. So, in more recent years, I've been pushing more deeply into web AR and, you know, moving away from my apps on the app stores and moving my AR experiences onto my own website where I've got a little bit more control over them. Here you can see some interactive projection mapping projects. Aside from murals and AR, I also do a decent amount of interactive work and projection mapping work. These projects that we're watching here use camera data to create a generative experience in real time. And as I've gotten deeper into this, I've found new ways to incorporate new technologies. Here we can see a generative project that uses generative AI to produce the effect in real time. The theme for this was statue portrait busts of Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. And here you can see it set up in situation at the Appleton Museum where I got to demo this art installation. And aside from projection mapping, my interests have also led me deeper into exploring virtual reality as a medium. Here you can see a virtual reality project I've created in the past. It was an opportunity for me to create. I was interested in exploring the idea of virtual full dome theaters. I've created a lot of 360 fractal animations that are well suited towards planetariums. Here you can see I'm sticking my head inside of one of these virtual full dome theater setups where you can experience the 360 fractal animation content from the inside of a virtual planetarium, essentially, and be surrounded by it on all sides. And so, yeah, this was a fun project and definitely a great way to explore VR as a medium and be able to incorporate some of my previous work rendering out 360 fractal animations. And really, it just feels like I'm barely scratching the surface. As I've moved forward, I've started exploring with WebXR projects, which is an amazing framework. It enables you to create projects that are able to be experienced in virtual reality or in augmented reality. And you can explore these projects on the web, just on a web browser, or on your mobile phone through a mobile browser. They're cross-platform and backwards compatible with older devices and forwards compatible with most modern VR headsets. These two projects we're looking at were created last year for the city of Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm especially proud of these two projects as they are virtual reality public art projects. It's a brand new uncharted territory. Virtual reality by its very nature is a somewhat isolating medium, being inside of the headset. Nobody else can see what you're looking at. But the combination of VR and public art is largely unexplored. Here we're looking at some of my more recent AR projects that I've done with Illust. These are location-based AR projects. And it's been super fun getting to work with Illust and collaborate with an AR platform such as them, who's given me the opportunity through these Balanced Forces exhibitions to show my AR artwork all over the country and also in Canada last year. I'm super grateful for collaborations like this to partner with people who are doing amazing things and enable me to share my artwork and get it out to a broader audience. But yeah, in summation, I have a compulsion. I have to just keep making artwork. It's I'm an I, I I'm in love with making fascinating things. It's what I do. I'm grateful that you guys took the time to listen to me ramble about all my art projects. If you need some sort of unstoppable force of nature who's prepared to make the coolest artwork you've ever seen, hit me up. That's what I do. So, the end.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Drake, thank you so much. That was great, and thanks for kicking us off today. And yeah, Drake is definitely covers the gamut, multidisciplinary by nature. Really it was awesome seeing him take the Best in Show for the Balance Forces exhibition in Miami with his work, the Leviathan. But yeah, so I just have one question before we jump to the next creator, Drake. If there was a, I guess if there was a direction that you'd like to take your augmented reality interwoven with the physical world, what kind of projects would those look like? What's kind of an area maybe like of opportunities that you're looking for as a creator, and maybe collaborating with, a certain type of client or a certain type of person? Maybe we all have different networks and are, working with different people that, it'd be great to maybe make some introductions or something. So who do you want to potentially meet with?
Totally. That's a great question. Some of the projects I'm looking forward to and moving deeper into are more interactive use cases of augmented reality. I picture having gamified AR experiences, possibly synchronized up with my mural work. Imagine, let's say, me doing a mural project for Atari, wherein I paint a mural of Space Invaders, and when you activate it with AR, you're able to actually play Space Invaders, the video game, at the mural location on your phone in a real-time AR interactive game framework. That's the kind of projects I'm looking to move into in the near future.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Drake. Everyone give them a virtual round of applause, I guess. It's a little bit weird that we're not in an auditorium here, but thanks for your time, Drake. And again, love your work. And now we're going to be bringing on our next creator. So switching gears here, we have LM Designs 8, who's going to be, let's see, where is she at in the room here? There she is. All right. So what's up, LM? Good to have you here.
Hello, you beautiful souls. How are y'all doing today?
We are chilling. I'm going to go ahead and reset the videos here that are part of your portfolio. But yeah, so we got 7 minutes. Also, anyone in the chat, it's open for questions too. But I want to give you as much time as possible, LM. Love your work, love everything you're doing here. But why don't you share with the world what you're working on?
All right, I am going to get to sharing my screen.
Cool.
Hopefully you can see this now. And sharing and presenting. Can you all see my screen?
And it should be ready to go here in 1 second. So let me just turn mine off.
Wonderful.
There you go. You're ready to rock.
Wonderful. Hello, you beautiful souls. Let's get into Bridging Worlds, the healing power of digital realities by yours truly. I'm LM, the founder of LM Designs LLC and the creative spirit known as LM Designs 8. I am a multidimensional artist and a creative technologist. Some of what I do: AR, VR, XR experiences for healing, expression, and creative advertising, digital activations from paintings to fashion and body tracked overlays, workshops and one-on-one sessions for artists, educators, and visionaries. The multidimensional journey for me starts in physical blends with the digital, and then transcends time and space to travel to you, and is energized when you immerse in the activations. My venture into this space is deeply personal. I travel a journey of resilience. After contracting Lyme disease and exploring homeopathic solutions, my immersive expressions blossomed. My work lives at the intersection of healing, technology, and multidimensional artistry. As a neurospicy creator living with scoliosis, chronic pain, and illness, I embed healing in every layer of my art, from the physical canvases to immersive XR experiences. All are infused with purpose, energy, and transformation. Today, I want to challenge you to think like I do and discuss what happens when we stop looking at the physical and digital worlds as separate and start weaving them together in something I like to call digital realities. The Flow Hub and Illest contest was a true victory because I got to activate something I am very passionate about: cannabis retail, and using some of my favorite workflows, altering static assets into 3D using Blender and then XR Fun. Finding exciting ways to teach with what is already in use is a fabulous perk of what I do. Consumers are wonderful students if you provide them with the knowledge, especially in a gamified way. I enjoy altering oftentimes dense, compliance-heavy, and visually static packaging into interactive, gamified AR experiences that educate, delight, and strengthen customer connection. With that, I do want to talk about Texas hemp stock 50-acre scavenger hunt because it was amazing. Being the dev on the grounds, leading the activation was life-changing. I was called a magician. Engaging with the festival attendees and entering them into the scavenger hunt allowed me to portal them to new dimensions that were surrounding them. It's beautiful watching people joy. I activated Lifted Lemon's brand during the event, turning their logo into an animated, fun, and image-triggered experience. Texas hemp stock was amazing. Part of it was the fact that it is not just about the design. The power of digital is not in the coding, it is in deployment. At Texas hemp stock, the goal was to use XR not as a distraction, but as a grounding tool. A pinnacle of this was the ceremonial fire pit. The activation was amazing. By anchoring an intentional AR layer directly over the physical fire pit, the digital came to life. As I guided patrons through the activations on site, the shift was immediate. The technology vanished, leaving a profoundly spiritual and energetic connection. When patrons looked up from the experience and expressed feeling rejuvenated, it proves that when deployed with intention, spatial computing can facilitate true multidimensional healing. Digital fashion, speak your truth, the social immersion medium. My energy queens combined my spoken word, animations, physical, and canvas works all together. The static version becomes the key image trigger that unlocks so much more. By having the audience pick which chakra tiaras, sets, and the body tracking butterflies went best with the outfits, altered them from passive to active participants in the runway, and it deepened their involvement. The creations and the social posting during and after the event heightened the impact and longevity of these shared moments. Also, each AR experience becomes a digital marketplace for the creators and the customers. Social AR, an immersion of healing. Healing can happen anywhere and everywhere we want it and need it. AR filters are fundamentally creating new social experiences and pockets of wellness. Beyond social engagement, I want to create with wellness brands and healers by crafting immersions uniquely designed for the betterment of people. Challenging reality, the digital wonder. Centering on the core of what I do, Digital art, my recently published book, Dear Self Diaries, Volume 1, A Digital Poetry and Healing Journal, is a gentle return to yourself with immersive layers for you to activate and sections for you to fill in as you're called to. High Elevations started as a single digital asset and is now a wearable and has digital duplicates inside the metaverse, and elements are geolocated around the world. Galactical Futures, on the road to consensus and beyond. Galactical Fingerprints is an earthbound portal in the form of my canvas work for a lunar-loving collector. This lunar art piece will be on display at Bit Basel during and after consensus beginning in May, and discussions have already begun with Bit Basel about having this added to a future Art for Impact payload, which would make for my second lunar artwork. Activating festivals and in-person events is part of my future with sponsorship. Teaching and bringing exciting things and your realities and what you have to new realities makes the world a more vibrant place. So let's glow. Have some fun. Trying things on can be the best way to understand. You can go into my XR page on my website and use Snap or TikTok filters to try, or you can try my standalone and various web AR hosted creations. When you do, tag me so I can see the wonders you create. I'm always fascinated by how others experience and are inspired by my creations. If you are interested in being my next client or having collaboration requests, reach out to me. How to do next steps and enter the next realms. 1, buy the book. 2, build portals with me during my Future Forward workshops. Let's create the future together and heal and art with one another. I am LM Designs 8. LM are my initials. Designs is what I do. 8 is my favorite number, but in the instance of my name, it is infinite. And always remember, love self, love others, and love often. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. LM, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, we had some questions actually in the chat here. So JJ Love asks, what were some unexpected challenges you had to overcome?
The challenges. So between what is in your brain and releasing it out to the world, I've been so involved and ready for these technologies to match up with my energies for so long. So waiting, patience, and timing has been super challenging, because when you have these things that you want to release and you want everyone to have a frictionless experience of it, you know, interoperability starts with you. So knowing that the platforms may change, they may die out, they may shift, but you have to create that experience for the user and not have them know any of the mess behind the scenes. That's been something that's been challenging, but here for it.
Awesome. And then a quick question, maybe like 15, 20 seconds. How do you encourage those who are not versed in AR to engage?
I ask, what are you excited about? And I take one piece of what they're excited about, and then I instantly transform it and show them. And I'm saying everything is for you. Anything that you are excited about, it's for all of us to elevate from your excitement. So let's share it out. Let's make it an immersive experience for everyone.
Amazing. LM, thank you so much. We're big fans of LM over here. She's done some great stuff and also won some contests that we put out there for design. So cool. Well, we're going to be shifting gears here. LM, we'll see you later. We're going to be shifting gears into the music category. So I'm really excited about this unique experience. We're going to have our next guest is going to be sharing with us a bit more about what he's been working on, and his name's Adibody. He has been doing some really incredible 3D work, but today he's going to be blessing us with some of his musical side too. So be sure to scan the QR code that brings you down into the rabbit hole to the Adibody experience. But I'm going to stop talking. I'll let him do all the talking and show what he's been working on. So Adibody, you got the floor, my guy. Don't hear any audio coming through yet.
Sorry about that. I had myself muted for everyone else. But
Perfect. All
just
right.
wanted to say thanks so much for having me. And I wanted to make sure that my QR code is facing the right way. It should say AR activation. Otherwise, it'll be backwards.
Yeah, let's see here. I am just kind of queuing up. All right. Do you want me to jump over into the presentation, or do you want me to kind of get
Okay.
the QR
It
code?
looks like it's working. It looks like it's working on my side. Is it working on yours?
It
Should
might be a
read
little hard
totally
to
normal.
scan,
Okay.
but I will
But
share
either
the
way,
link to. I'll
right.
share the link to it in the chat for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If I
Yeah.
could real quick, yeah, do my presentation to my website. So this is a part of the experience I've been working on for a minute. And my name is Out of Body, and it's the phonetic equivalent of an out of body experience, out of body, hence the name. And this is essentially it, the out of body experience, which you're seeing right here. It's something I've been building from the ground up for about 5 years and finally ready to start debuting it. I got into AR so that I can actually start putting some of these elements of what I wanted to do with this performance for a long time, and finally decided to learn the technology, really get deep into it. I am a 3D artist, I'm an audiovisual artist, so I do both. My arms are in both worlds. As you see, I have projection mapping behind me and a flute in front of me. But yeah, so this website right here is something that kind of shows, because I'll be talking, but I think the best thing is just to show it. Same thing with my performance. I'm going to do a little performing for you guys as well. But without further ado, this is the Out of Body experience on my site. So if you scroll down, it just takes you over to this section where you can kind of see I'm going to have a lot of crystals involved with what I do. So I have a 3D printed crystal I'm going to be having out. This is a part of it. Take it with you before you go on the out of body experience, which is this portal right here. You get sucked in through a wormhole. The website's still in its last bits of construction, so it might not be mobile friendly, but it is definitely working on the desktop, so be free to check that out. I would really appreciate that. Anyway, so as you get on further here into this section, after you've been through the veil, you'll see that I have my EPK right here with some of my past performances. You also, if you go to the next section, you can actually try out some of the AR work that I've made. You see right there, if you scan that QR code, and you get a chance to see the AR as well. That's the same AR that's going to be right here in this performance. And you keep going. I have a little bit more about my crystal. And again, the AR for me, augmented reality, is really meant to be able to highlight and tell an extra part of the story. And so while you're on stage, I imagine there to be this giant crystal skull, floating pyramids, crystals, all kinds of things that you can think of that will now be hidden to the plain eye, but if you have the secret code or you're in and you're in the know, you get to see the extra sides of the performance. And so right here, on the end of my websites in the footer, you can book an appointment. I'm looking for right now, since I'm building it from this ground up, anybody interested in participating with collaboration, either through also just wanting to join the waitlist to know more. Also looking for anybody who might want to bring the out of body experience to their venue or to their area. Because this can be scaled up and down. I can do it in a gallery, but I could also do it in a large venue. And this is part of what I'm building right now. I'm going to be starting my live streaming too to build up momentum and get a lot of crowdfunding going because we really want to make this bigger. So this is my site. I just wanted to lead you through that and a little bit of visuals and the stuff that I can do. And so without further ado, because at the end of the day, this is a music performance, I'm going to show you a little bit of what that looks like. So if the QR code is working, then I'll be able to have the skull at the same time as you hear me perform. But if not, that's cool. You're just going to hear a little bit of what this performance sounds like. Now, the out of body experience is not supposed to be, a lot of people think that when you go out of body or something that you're going into this transcendental, like peaceful area. And to the most degree, it's true. But I also want to remind everybody that the mind is where everything lives, including action, adventure, fun, all of it. It's basically where every cinema you've ever seen lives. So the out of body experience is a wild experience. It's not just meant to just take you to one peaceful area. So I'm going to play a little bit of that and kind of give you a little bit of what I mean. This is again supposed to be a 360 degree projection mapped environment. So with me, I just have my studio right now. Hopefully that's still coming through. Just want to make sure real quick. Yes, perfect. Anyways, so this will be a 360 projection mapped area along with my original music that I'm going to be performing and mixing live and also doing live interactive visuals and all kinds of stuff. And it's meant to take over your senses and bring you to an out-of-body experience. So without further ado, I'm going to play you a little intense flute. Alrighty. So, that was a little bit of my performance. My mic fell off, so hopefully you guys still heard me at the end.
That was fire.
The show must go on.
Out of body, dude. You crushed it.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And this is what I have so far. Again, I'm looking for collaborators, anybody who wants to get involved, whether that's through funding, that's through interest, anybody. I'm building this from the ground up. It's all self-funded, and just trying to gather up as much as I can to make it happen.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so, I mean, really bringing in a new dimension into the AR landscape. And I think one of the things that really got me excited from the onset with Out of Body is that he wants to be bringing this into his live sets where, if you can imagine, I mean, we're just listening to this from our computer speakers or maybe from our cell phone speakers, but like that set up with a good sound system and then having these immersive visuals interlaced between the set, you know, really telling this whole like immersive storyline. I'm just really excited for it. And yeah, I mean, does anyone have any quick questions for Out of Body before we jump to our next guest? And if not, if I don't see anything, I would say maybe Out of Body, like what's the next thing on your agenda? Like we have this nice little teaser right here. Like what's next?
Awesome. So what's next for me right now is trying to get into different venues that can actually host this and, you know, experience. So I guess the next big goal is to build up momentum through the website, through the live streaming I'm doing, so that I can eventually land myself in a 360 venue to actually perform it and show and bring this out to the world. So that's my next biggest step, is to have that prototype ready for people to actually be able to step in here with me and experience the AR, projection mapping, music, and all of it together.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, everyone give a virtual round of applause for Out of Body. You killed it, man. And yeah, we'll be seeing you later. Sweet. So we are now going to be shifting gears over to augment your reality. Adam will be coming on stage here. There we go. I get a little bit of feedback. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Sweet.
So I got a little bit of echo on your mic. I'm just going to let you do the talking, and then let me know when you're ready. Okay, go.
Give me 1 sec. I think I can fix it real quick.
Yeah. Digging the shades.
Echo. How are we looking now? How do I sound?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to hand over the mic to you and let's get it going.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Strawn from Boston, Massachusetts, but currently residing and operating out of Denver, Colorado. I am the owner of Above the Sky Productions, a full-service merchandise operation that serves clients worldwide, and the founder of Augment Your Reality, an augmented reality services brand company focused on integrating digital experiences into the physical world in both creative and impactful ways. I wholeheartedly believe that with the emergence of augmented reality in the coming months and years, we're headed toward a complete paradigm shift in how we will experience the world around us and engage with digital content. It's those that are building in AR now who will radically transform a wide range of industries, including marketing, live events, retail, education, healthcare, and so much more. With 15 years in the live events and music industry, I'm focused on applying AR where it creates the most impact and building real world experiences people don't just see, but move through and interact with. Here's some of my older work. So that's some of my older work that I think I was one of the first or the first person to put augmented reality onto jerseys, which was a main focus of my Above the Sky Productions brand. But I think a lot of people don't really know what AR is. So I feel like we are part of, the generation that will teach the future generations how this is going to be used, and I think this is going to be pretty ubiquitous across many, many industries. So I've been building out my website and my pitch decks with the help of Rob. This would be the first slide, how it works, the most important thing. There's always an activation point, and whether that's a NFC chip or a QR code. Once you enter the experience, you then are prompted to interact with whatever the experience is. And always, we prompt people to share the social media because that's where real growth happens. From there, I have my capabilities deck. I'm not focusing on just one lane. I don't want to pigeonhole myself with this because, like I said, it's going to be used in many, many ways. So my capabilities deck is going to be showing a lot of different use cases. For instance, we have digital installations, print media like AR posters. I just designed a quest, which you'll learn about momentarily. Some more capabilities is merchandise, as you've already seen, ads and promo, and then my real main goal here is to bring augmented reality into the live event and concert space. And my personal goal is to be the first to bring augmented reality to the legendary Red Rocks Amphitheater in Denver, Colorado. So the process, always important. It starts with the idea and a proposal, and then we go into scoping and storyboard, which takes a few weeks. After we agree upon a project, we go into the creative development and then the implementation on the grounds in the area that we're, presenting. Here's my packages starting at 1500, a fully designed single AR experience. Then we have a core experience where you're getting more AR elements, but also some added features like maps and custom branding. And then you have your premium experience, which is going to be a whole bunch of assets, 5+ multi-location interaction design, movement-based engagement strategies. And here's a little bit deeper into a starter package. There's so many things you can do with just one single element, whether that's launch or promote a new product, guide customer movement. You can educate anywhere. People can interact with your brand at home. And of course, the most common use right now, which is digital try-ons. I plan to partner this with some of the other products I make with my clothing company, or which, banners, business cards, apparel, signage, posters, patches, stickers, all of these can be augmented. And I think they're, great add-on products for any campaign. My most recent project was a 5 crystal, 7 element quest where people that completed the quest and found all 5 hidden crystals, they won a free AR enabled poster. We had some pretty good engagement, 1,000 people. 124 people completed the quest. Like I said, 7 artworks, a lot of crystals collected. Here's an example of our global deployment. Looks really good with the stage. And then I also work with Rob on the Texas Eclipse Festival, where we create a sculpture garden. I worked with a handful of artists in the music industry to get them on board. 166 views out in Texas. The jarring number here is 50,000 Instagram and Twitter video views. That's real brand growth and real impact right there. And people stayed on the artwork for almost 2 full minutes, which is pretty good. That's definitely longer than people look at a sign or a billboard. So I think that says it all. Some key learnings is that internet is always the hurdle. So this festival alone is why we now standard bring Starlink to when we deploy these experiences. And that's just a quick summation of what we do at Augment Your Reality. If you'd like to work with us, we are always working with new artists. Contact us today at augmentyourreality@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Adam, thank you so much for your time. So we got some questions in the chat, and feel free to fill in. So Jay Ross was saying, what app are you using for people to see the AR?
So right now we're doing everything through the Illust app. It works great. Every time we have any ideas on how to improve the app, they work real quickly to add the feature. Right now they're doing fully custom maps, which is really good for the quests.
Yeah. I think I saw something about internet. So what are some solutions you can do for, if the internet's down? I think Brogy Posse and what you're doing there with like the Starlink was pretty clever.
Yeah, so the Starlink was the first, idea, but there's also great branding opportunities where if you get a sponsor, say T-Mobile wants to sponsor the festival, you work with them, they provide the Wi-Fi. It's a win-win for everybody involved. If you join the quest, you get free Wi-Fi. That's just one option, but I think just bringing our own Starlink and popping them at all the locations where you have your hidden AR elements, and as a bonus, your customers get free Wi-Fi. There's nobody's losing in that scenario.
Yeah, festival Wi-Fi is always a very hot commodity, and something I really appreciate about Adam is that he's been in the music game doing festivals, whether across food, across merchandise, for a good amount of time. And so when you start knocking on these doors, bringing digital content to the storyline, they were all ready for it and really a willing partner. So I'm excited to see where his project goes, and if anyone is interested on the music side or on the merchandising side, Adam's definitely a good person to talk to there. But thanks for your time, Adam. Appreciate you. Another virtual round of applause.
Yep.
And we're going to be bringing into the mix. We have Archana. So give me 1 second to bring her on stage. What's up, Archana?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yeah, we can hear you just great. I'm just about
to go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, let's do it. And let's see here. Let me know when you're ready.
Let me know. Are you able to see it?
Okay. Yep, I see it here. And we're ready to rock.
Ready? Okay.
All you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Archana Aneja. I'm a multidisciplinary artist, an architectural designer, and a technologist. I was born in India, and I've been living in the United States for about 20 years. I've spent about 5 years in Germany, so you could really say I am truly a global citizen. My art is a mix of all the legacy, all the history, all the culture I have the Indian genes, so there are vibrant colors. I have the European experience, so the architecture and history comes in. And then obviously with the US, the best part about being a first generation immigrant mom and dad here is that if you work hard, sky's the limit. And I have been working in the creative field for about 25 years. I very recently turned 50, and I realized that I've spent 25 years I've spent 12 and a half years doing architecture in professional settings as an architectural designer in Michigan. And the last about 12 years, I've been a solo entrepreneur. My art practice is, I would say, experimental. I love architecture and I would have loved to continue, but I became a mom to two beautiful children. So I and my spouse decided that we are going to be there if we possibly can. So I started painting at home from creating acrylic abstracts. I diversified into wearables and I diversified into many different things. So I've been experimenting. The main reason for me to create is that I do need to create. And I'm also one of those persons that cannot just sit still. So I made the most of my time. And in the last 10 years, I've produced most of my work is self-funded, but I've produced the projects that I wanted to see. And as I'm talking about myself, I know sometimes I get carried away. I will go through my portfolio to just give you a little bit of a flavor of what I do. My first love is abstract art. I do acrylics on canvas, very, very, physical, texture, three-dimensional. The architect in me needs that layer to it. So augmented reality kind of was a no-brainer because it kind of gave me that opportunity to extend my art, extend my variables, and tell stories that I further wanted to tell. As you've seen, some of the editorial work that I've done in the last years with wonderful collaborators. I've been very fortunate to work with some gems in the industry who have done art for the love of art. So as I go through these, you can tell it's all of these variables are based on my original abstract paintings. Like, for example, as you see, and the colors, the life, the nature, consciousness, spirituality. The idea is that we have to go back to nature. We have to go back to our roots. Even though we have the technology, there's no reason for us to not be who we are. And next, coming to augmented reality. Being an architect, I was doing virtual reality presentations about 20 years ago. I think many moons ago, when it would take me like 48 hours to render one little image. So life has come a full circle in the last 4 or 5 years. I've had the opportunity to beta test OpenAI, Midjourney, and many AI softwares when everything was just starting out. And in the last 8 weeks with Elas, I've had this wonderful opportunity to work with Rob and this beautiful cohort to, kind of bring everything together. I've worked on many different things, but this has helped me bring everything together and present it in a way and get it to everybody who'd like a piece of my art and the extended stories. So as you can see in this particular one, there's augmented reality. The clothes are based on some of the newer AI assisted works as well, which are in turn based on my art. But then there's augmented reality associated with the merch or with the artwork. With Elast, in just the last few weeks, Rob has given us such a wonderful opportunity to showcase at South by Southwest in Austin, ETH Denver, at Beeple and Nodes in San Francisco. So bringing tradition into my art has been a huge thing for me. I was born in India, and this particular piece really tells about my story, that I'm a mom, I'm a woman, I'm an architect, I am a technologist, and I'm an artist. And there is no reason why we as women have to be constrained by societal expectations, but we should just follow our heart. As I said, a lot of my projects are self-funded, but I do small consultations, 3D renderings, virtual reality presentations, and 3D models for architectural firms, and that's how I pay my bill. That helps me keep going. In the last year, I've had a wonderful relationship with One Love Art DAO, who's been so instrumental, Webby Social, Hug and Dot Art community, and many others. I got this opportunity to showcase my art in Miami in December, and the pieces had augmented reality, and it really got the audience excited to know more about the stories. And here you can, if you visit my website, you would be able to see some of my AR work as well. And going forward, let me just quickly go to a quick about an exhibits. In the last 15 years, I've had an opportunity to showcase in many places. NFT NYC last year, I was a speaker and an artist, and the list is long, but it has come from the heart. Every painting, every piece of work is truly, with all my love. So the last thing I would like to talk about is the main project that I took upon working. This is just 2-3 weeks old, and this was a beautiful collaboration I did with a local Portland photographer, Flecko Flights, and a dancer, Brooke. And I want my stories to be relatable. I want my stories to be something of my friend, my daughter, my parent, and I want them to be proud of me. So this particular one is called, the artwork you see is called Light the Fire, and it's Light the Fire series. But this project is called 25 for 25. I will be in the starting Mother's Day, dropping 25 original artworks, one every 2 weeks. And each of this original artwork will have a portal an augmented reality portal associated with it. And 25% of proceeds will be shared with the particular collaborator who I've worked on. I've had the opportunity to work with 300 plus models, stylists, hairstylists, artists, because I've done several fashion shows, several art exhibits, and I know how hard it is to get paid. I know how much of expense goes into these showcases. And I know as artists, if you don't have a second income, it's very hard to run a home. I want to do a little bit on my part. So this 25 for 25 would be a living collection of art, memory, and meaning. Each original would be a textured acrylic art piece, and it would come with a 3D printed piece or a wearable. The collector could get to know about the deeper story through immersive activations, and then 25% would benefit the creator. Now, my 25 for 25 series is based on 4 pillars: the art pillar, tradition pillar, tech pillar, and impact pillar. Really, the 25 years of creative journey that I have been on has been always guided by these 4. The art kind of begins with original acrylic art. In the world of AI, while I'm a huge proponent of AI, which has opened so many doors for us. I'm also an artist. So the original acrylic art for me honors color, honors texture, honors gesture, honor it. Um, Grounds me in physical art making. So the art pillar, the tradition pillar, we all have our cultures, we all have our histories, we all have our stories. I was born in India in a disputed part. So when I grew up, I experienced political unrest, which was very, very, it was a trauma I've carried in my heart for 50 years. So I end up showcasing positivity in my art. I end up showcasing uplifting stories. I end up showcasing happy people. And it's not to say there's any, art is so subjective, but tradition, my Indian culture, the European and US culture that we've picked up as a family, it all kind of plays into it. The tech pillar, the augmented reality, the virtual reality, um, the metaverse aspect, 3D modeling, 3D printing. Now, this really adds form and dimension. It helps expand the story. And then the impact pillar, the most important one, I think if each of us did a little something for ourselves and a little something for the person who we work with, I think we'll all be happy. One important thing is there are tiers to this collection so that I could make my original art accessible to as many people. So there's an origin portal which would have the original artwork plus AR activation plus companion items, certificate of authenticity. It would start at a certain price because these are originals. Then I have an Echo portal which has limited edition prints and AR activations. There's a living portal which would have wearables, dresses, aprons, things that a friend could pick up for, I want my art to be accessible. I don't want a sticker shock. I don't want to have to somebody to say, oh, this is a designer item, we can't afford it. I want my daughter to, be able to buy something for her friend. And then the open portal, which is a digital download and the AR activation. And the open portal is an entry point at $25, which would get someone in. And you would kind of get the early access, and you would get the digital download. You would get behind the scene um, stories too. So going back to this particular project, we have Brooke, who's a wonderful dancer, and I created this installation with metal wires depicting how we, as women or men, or a parent or a daughter, have responsibilities in our life. We are always constrained with positives, negatives, but then in this case, she has a brush in her hand and she's still trying to write her story. And this is the story of us all. This particular piece where I used steel tubing and kind of used the spiral image, giving how we all have a light inside of us, and despite the darkness around us, that light always shines, and we just have to have that courage to follow that light and to seek the positivity, and be there. Now,
Yeah,
these
so we're running low on time, so I just want to make sure we have enough. And we
yeah,
quick,
just
yeah.
one last minute. But here, quickly, I just wanted to show how the traditional painting started. This is called teardrop, and then it using AI, have augmented it and stretched the story further. Same thing here. I mean, just a few different activations in augmented reality. How one side and then these stories are then showcased through these. If you go to my website, you can see some of the FAQs where how the AR would be activated, how do I access it, and And these are some of the collaborations I've had the good fortune to work with: Adobe, Instagram, and many others. But I love creating. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Rob. I am so grateful for this boot camp. Being a creative is hard because you have so many ideas. It's very hard to keep things together. But Rob, for the last 8 weeks, has helped streamline what it is that we want to say. And in my case, please, if you like my work, do sign up, send me your email addresses, write me a message if you're interested in wearables, if you're interested in art, if you're interested in collaborating. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, Archana, thank you so much. I really appreciate the level of creativity coming into this. And for all those who are out in the audience right now, definitely take a look. I think I shared on the X account, Archana's website. Is the 25 for 25, is that page available and live now, or is that okay? Cool. So go check out 25 for 25. I know, and then if you please show your support. There's different price points depending on budget ranges, but I think the lowest end is 25, the highest end is 2,500. So if you could show your support through your voting with your dollars, that's always really appreciated as an artist, as a creator. But I know we're going to pick it up some of the merchandise side on that. But yeah, thank you so much, Archana. And yeah, we're going to be doing just a quick little breather. We're going to do like a little pause in the stream now. Because as we speak, Galina, who's up next, she finished teaching her class in Chicago, her design class in Chicago, is running back to her office to jump on the stream to present what she's working on. So I'm just going to do a quick little announcement in the meantime. So as you've been kind of hearing about what we've been up to, I wanted to share some of the upcoming dates of what's going on in our program. So for Illust, we're going to be doing we've been doing these kind of like AR photo shoots, and it's been really fun to do alongside different exhibitions, alongside different projects. But this one's going to be exclusively just a photo shoot around digital art in really cool and unique places. So in end of May, we're going to be doing a photo shoot on the Amalfi Coast. So if you're an artist and you'd like to see your artwork visualized, it could be a still, video, 3D model. Yeah, we're going to be finding some pretty cool places to kind of place it and have it live there, and then capture photo and content around it for your portfolio and for your PR kit. And then coming up, we're going to be doing bootcamp cohort number 2. Yeah, it's going to be in June. So if you're interested, we'd love to chat about it. The QR code here is just a link to my Calendly. So if you're interested in any of these things, feel free to book a time on my calendar. And then it looks like Balance Forces is going to be doing an event in July. So there'll be some more information about that coming out soon. And then for those of you who are in California, we are going to be kicking off. We used to do this many moons ago, but we're kicking it off. We're going to be doing the Illust Summer Surf Social, where if you're a creator, you're an artist, you're a friend of ours, we're going to be setting up on the beach. We're going to have people teaching how to do surf lessons, and we're going to have like a whole AR art walk along the beach of Venice Beach. And it'll just be a kind of a cool little social hour for folks in the community. So that's what we have coming up in the near term. But it looks like I see Galina is now in the driver's seat. So I'm going to invite her on the stage here. And what's up, Galina? Let's see. It looks like audio is not coming in.
Okay.
There we go.
So, Rob, do you see my presentation screen?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that on here in 1 second. Okay. So, all righty. Perfect. Galina, the floor is yours.
Okay, so my name is Galina Shevchenko, and I've been making art for many years. And this is my website through which you can see like all the mixed realities I've been working with. So I create immersive environments And in the 2023, I started creating metaverses that basically take you into the actual space with a projection, with objects, and everything is sort of surrounding you, and you are immersed in the art form. So augmented reality became my lifesaver during the pandemic, when a lot of places were closed and you couldn't go to museums. So I brought art outside of the regular, projection space, the regular art space. I brought art with me everywhere I went. And I also started creating metaverses. So this is my first show with the metaverse that's loading. That was in the Surgical Museum in Chicago, Museum of Surgical Science, where I created a metaverse with human hybrids. And the show was called We Will Survive as Hybrids. So my practice is very much focused on the idea of the body, on the idea of a body of a woman, a grotesque body of a woman monster who is surviving, procreating, and manifesting through that beautiful survival. So everything AR that I do is art related. So the first time I contacted Rob was when I was about to go to Venice. I had a residency in Venice, and I was working with another AR software. That a lot of those AR softwares, they show up and then they disappear. So and so last came around when Adobe Aero was about to sunset. So I was so grateful for that. So what I did, I did a show in Venice in Residency Venezia Contemporanea, which I called Digital Immediacy Virtual Permanence. And I was looking for this Venetian mermaid. I was looking for this Venetian woman that is a monster, half mermaid, half woman, that kind of lives as a spirit of the lagoon. And I created an immersive installation there at this gallery, which was also my living space, with metaverses and augmented reality. And it was fascinating because everybody was, and I also had real objects interacting with that. So I create verses and spaces, and so I put them all together in the art environment. So this project I did in New York, it was my most recent show at the Everyone Biennial, and it was metaverse, augmented reality, recorded and augmented reality enacted in the space, as you can see here in the screen. And so this story is about a Renaissance woman, Bianca Capello, who was a mistress of Francesco de' Medici, who started the Uffizi galleries. She was this Renaissance woman, rebellious, beautiful, and he created a beautiful palazzo for her, Palazzo Bianca Capello, with grotesque monsters on the palazzo facade. So I expanded that facade into a metaverse, and also brought it into the gallery space as augmented reality. And that brings me into my project that I did for this bootcamp. I wanted to immerse in this idea of a flower, an immersive flower. And so this is a metaverse that I created with my grotesque female bodies that I call flowers, and I call them flowers of resistance. So they live here in this metaverse, and they also live in the augmented reality space, and on my website here. So Flowers of Resistance website, I think Rob is sharing it with you guys. Let's see. Yeah, is it there? Oh my gosh, it's not showing up. Is it not showing up? Do you guys see it on the screen?
We see it.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah, when you hover over, it looks like it's.
Oh, okay. So do you see it now? Okay. So here it is. And so here on this website, you can see the filters that I created, my flower filters. And if you hover over each filter, you see the QR code. If you are on your mobile, you can go directly to the link. The link will take you there, and you can take this filter and you can manifest with it anywhere on the street. So here is the video that shows them in the world. They go everywhere. They go to the mountains of France, and they're here in Chicago, downtown. It's really I feel like it's really empowering to bring this like beautiful female body out into the open and project her onto the big surface of the city. The whole city becomes your canvas. And with the last augmented reality software, I think this is really incredible and liberating to do that. This is, for me, it's pure art form to manifest the resistance. That's why they're called the resistance, flowers of resistance. To manifest that we are still surviving, we're still there, we're still human, and just to bring the voice to art, because art is something that can keep us all going. And here they are in New York over the East River in this humongous scale. And you could, it's just very liberating and empowering to be able to do this and to be able to share it with the world. So I also created a merch collection associated with my AR pieces. They're wearable art pieces that you can click directly here on my website. You can go directly into my Shopify, or you can click on each of those items and you can get them, and you will have a live QR code so you can play with them and wear them and manifest. I'm also expanding this collection with into more wearables with words of manifestation and resistance. And I invite audience to collaborate with me with whatever they want to share on their wearables, and I can create the custom t-shirt with that. But the most importantly, the flowers, they're to manifest and to and just to be this incredible art form that lives around us and provides this other possibility of reality, other possibility of survival, another possibility of a beautiful future. And with that, I think I'm done.
Perfect, Galina. Thank you so much. This is great. I love these little creations, and they're so fun to see in different vantage points and different environments. We had a question from the audience from Bernie. What is the biggest challenge you face when creating augmented reality, and what is the biggest problem when displaying the animation in web AR?
Well, the biggest challenge with augmented reality is the other platforms, because they're disappearing. Because I first started doing 2D augmented reality as Spark AR, and I became like a big programmer with that, and then it went away. So I was working with Adobe Aero, and then I found Elast, and I think it's important to. And Elast was developing platform then over like almost a year and a half ago. So I think it's important to support this initiatives, to support these platforms, so they can further develop, and we as creators develop with them. So so creating, it's a fascinating time right now when technology sort of became embedded infused into our bloodstream. So I feel like I create this I feel like these augmented pieces are almost my prosthetics. Oh, and a thing I forgot to mention, flowers of resistance, my movements, because I'm using mock-up suit called Rococo mock-up suit, and I actually record my own movements and give my models my movements. So it becomes like a total, complete embodiment of me associated with my virtual characters. And this is such an incredible time that we can do it right now. That's this technologies are available for the creators to manifest.
Awesome. Galina, well, thank you so much for your time. I definitely highly recommend you all check out her website, check out what she's doing. I love the fact that she literally imbues her mocap suit and movements into the actual AR animation themselves. So yeah, really love the creativity in the building here. And thank you so much for being a part of this cohort. And cool. So we are going to we're going to bring, so Superama, we'll invite her onto the stage. She's going to be bringing us home. And let's see here. Yeah, we've had the opportunity to connect actually in person in Miami. And I mean, definitely when meeting with Superama, she is just a bounty of creativity and just connectedness with her art. So yeah, seeing her as one of the Adobe partners or like creative partners in their program to bringing it into the AR sphere. I'm going to stop talking and let her speak for herself, but we're excited that she's part of this cohort, and the floor is all yours. And let me know if you want me to share your presentation or where that is.
Thank you, Rob. I know we are a little bit over time, so I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. Let me share here. Present. Do you see my presentation?
We are good to go.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. This is Amaranta or Superama from Miami. I'm going to go over a little bit of who I am, so you have an idea where I come from. Okay, this is Miniama. I was born and raised in Caracas, Venezuela, but I've been living for the past 20 years here in Miami. So coming from the Caribbean and living in Miami, so coming from cities that are very sunny and fun and colorful, is that's very obvious that in my work has inspired me to create this colorful psychedelic whimsical worlds. That's where I get all my inspiration from, just life, living. I'm a very joyful person. Right now, I cannot label myself as anything since I've been creating in so many mediums. So I just consider myself a multi-passionate human. I've done it all in the creative field. So I cannot really say that I'm just one thing. I'm just a creative human being that wants to keep exploring anything and everything with art and technology. I've worked with clients from all around the world doing murals, exhibitions, installations, packaging, fashion, anything and everything. But my favorite things are always art in public spaces. That's where I see that people react better, they enjoy it more, they can interact with it. So my favorite things have been doing installations like this in very big spaces, like this. Another thing that I love to do, that are the things that are really has taken me to another level of artwork and express myself in a different way, because I don't have the pressure and of the deadline and the clients. So are my passion projects. The things that have taken my artwork to another level and experimenting with augmented reality. So this has been, I know you said that maybe Jenny from One Love was here. Shout out to Jenny. That's thanks to her community, One Lover DAO, we've been able to explore and do many creative things. So when I started creating digital artwork, I made this big shift, that because I've been passionate about art and technology for so long. but I didn't find the way and the moment to mix it, to blend it. But finally, when I started doing digital art, and since I already had my style and my palette, these two worlds, when it collided, for me, it opened my mind to start creating in different formats, larger formats, with a lot of movement and colors in any type of space.
Miren,
Uh,
increíble.
Nothing really
Qué felicidad.
clicked, something clicked that when I started
Gracias, un loco.
performing
Increíble. Gracias.
reality,
Miren con ojitos.
I really felt that that was the next step for me. So I started to experiment with projects like this, personal projects, like small digital installations. Like I said before, I've been through like 3 to 5 apps of because they keep disappearing or changing, or you don't have access to it. So it's been, you gotta be very convinced and very patient to have this learning, constant learning, creating and changing a lot. So I started to experiment doing like digital illustrations and any type of creative experiments to really understand how this worked, and all the experiments came out great. So I started to add this technology to exhibitions. I added music to it, I added poetry, I added the explanation of the artwork. So I started really to see like the value to add this to my artwork, because people could really understand what it meant. Because usually when you go to an exhibition, you see it, and I mean, you don't really know what it means. Really gave it another level of people, engaging with the
Gama.
artwork, because you can not only add, like I said before, music and poetry and movement, but you can also add links to it. You can sell through it, because I've done it before. And then I started to think, okay, now can I monetize this? Because of course, we're all artists, but we all need to make money out of our own. And I started to think how to clients that really were interested in this technology. The first client I worked with integrating AR to the illustrations, this was a bank. It was really surprising to me to that my first client was Ally Bank. So it was really cool to, if you already know the bank, the AB, like the AUC, in the back of my illustration, that's the part of their logo. This energy drink brand called Odyssey, where they made these VR boxes when they launched their new flavor. So we added this augmented reality to each one of their boxes and the campaign. So it was really cool. Everybody loved it. And if you could click on the illustration, it will take you to the website of the energy drink, and you could buy it directly from the box. So you didn't really need to download anything, because the QR code was part of the box. So you just scan the QR code and directly see the animation, and you can buy the product. This was a
That
collaboration
is so cool.
that I did with other artists,
That is
the
cool.
mural, and then we added the augmented reality. This was for, you were here, Rob, for Art Basel in December for the Gates Hotel in Miami Beach. This was another hotel in Miami Beach where I decided to mix. It was an installation with screens, with mural, with an NFC chip. This little guy here, you can see that you tap the eye, and then it'll take you to the link. You can always change the link. You can update it, and the cool thing is that you can also update the screen if you want. So once you open this Pandora box, it'll take you to you don't keeps going. This one, also, you remember, Rob, this was, I collaborated this with another artist called Wildy. I don't know if she's here. We won this contest to design a shoe for the Celia Cruz anniversary here in Miami. So it was really cool to create, to put the shoe as part of the exhibition, and we could change it and people can interact with it, and people really loved it. They were very, very excited to do this. And of course, like Archana said, being part of Ilus has been amazing, not only because you get inspired by all these artists you already saw today, that they're all amazing, but also we have collaborated together in different spaces and cities around the country. And I know this is just the beginning, and I want to thank you, Rob, for putting all this effort. It has been amazing being part of this. And this is what I want to make your art and activations and installations to stand out, create connections, and keep putting our artwork all around the world. And I just wanted to thank you guys, and thank you, Rob, for creating this space. Inspire other people to keep creating with you guys. Thank you all.
Appreciate that, Alma. that was great. Thank you so much for going through all these different examples. And I'd love to hear just your initial thoughts. If anyone has any questions in the audience, please throw them in the comments. But I'd love to hear like what goes into like what inspires you as an artist, as a creator. You have so much color and so much vibrancy. I just love to hear a little bit more about the
life, meeting people like you guys, collaborating and with other artists. I mean, and I think as creators, we just can't stop. Our mind just keep as long as every time I learn a new skill, a new tool, meet people like you guys, it's like it's impossible not to be excited to keep creating more things.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Well, we are just kind of drawing to a close, but I want to, if there's anyone that's interested in collaborating with Alma, all of us here are working towards, building out different partnerships and different relationships. And Alma really brings a wealth of experience working with clients across different disciplines. So if there's anything that comes up, please let us know. We're definitely open to it, or share it with your friends. Well, Alma, thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for closing us out. I got one last slide here, and then I'll bring everyone up on the stage just to kind of say goodbye. But yeah, basically, actually, let's bring everyone up now.
Picture.
So bring the whole squad up. Yeah, no, this has been great. If any of y'all are working to collaborate or want to collaborate with any of the folks that presented today, please give my QR code a scan. It goes to my Calendly. We can talk about it. There's also a bunch of other things and events coming up. So by all means, please do reach out. I'll share in a post recap here. But in the meantime, yeah, I just want to say thank you all to everyone that was in this cohort for presenting today. You all really just killed it. And we couldn't thank you enough for being a part of this. It was really our Genesis class. So, I think I liked it so much that I definitely want to be a part of it. And now you all are kind of like the elders who've gone through it before. So we'll have you come in. But well, hey, that concludes our first demo day. So with that being said, I just want to thank you all. And as always, the world is yours. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.